Hey guys, this is Genesis telling her side, just kind of recapping her relationship with Jaguar. Let's take a listen. SDW was interviewing her about Jaguar when she was locked up in jail, and she revealed a couple of things.
Yes, that was the night before. Okay. So we talked on the phone and you were telling me like, okay, well, I'm gonna call the police, stuff like that, which you have every right. I'm like, somebody's threatening you or your children or getting, people removed in your home for no reason. You have every right. I mean, I'm a father, so I'm not going to be against that at all. And I did say that. I'm just like, okay, do you think? And she had called several times throughout the week. And then finally, what happened is that on the 14th that morning, she wasn't calling me. She was actually calling Gina. Then she was calling Shaka. Then she'd call Levine. Then she'd go back to Shaka. Then she'd go back. And she was just having a ring around the rosy of people that she's calling. Called me. And that was on that morning that she got arrested. She called me on the 14th. I think it was 11 o'clock in the morning. And while she was calling you throughout the week, what was she saying to you? Basically, she was trying to convince Shaka and Azeen that they need to leave my house because there's some person, a bunch of different people emailing her saying that they're going to call CPS on them because they're staying on this house because they used to be in carbonation and about some of the kids or something like that.
So Jaguar was trying to get them to leave Genesis, abandon Genesis. I guess she figured if she can't be friends with Genesis, she was going to break up the friendship that Shaka have with her.
Just some made up bullshit. So, when did you decide to call? You got me pulling up the rest. It's fine. It's going to be echo. So when did you decide to, what, enough is enough? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? Well, she hadn't been talking to me, shocking them, what I'm saying? They were laughing it off, what I'm saying? They'd stay on the phone. She'd be on the phone for like an hour or an hour and a half, just basically repeating, you guys really need trying to convince them because I guess she was mad that Legina had decided to stay here. And so, I guess she was trying to get them to leave from over here. Like, y'all need to get your own place and get away from her. It's toxic, whatever, making up all these things, right? Because Regina had came here. And now all of a sudden, before this, she was not calling and saying all that. Before Regina came over here, she was not calling them.
And I remember a couple of nights she even stayed over at Genesis, and there was no problem then. But all of a sudden, Genesis is saying because she had a falling out with Jaguar and they weren't talking, all of a sudden, something was wrong with the house and nobody should be staying there. Legina should get a place of her own and Shaka should move out. I remember her saying that Legina had gotten an apartment, but I guess she never got around to moving in or seeing the place because she was supposed to take the public on a tour of this apartment that Legina was supposed to get. But I guess that never came to fruition because she was so busy fighting with everybody and making a fool of herself on the internet. But you guys are going to hear when Genesis says she pulled up at Jaguar's apartment to drop them off and they all saw the yellow notice on the door, the eviction notice. So Jaguar knew way ahead of time about this eviction. She knew that she was supposed to get out before the deadline because they put a date on it where you cannot be in the apartment. They give you a certain time to get out, but she did not want to move because I remember her saying that it was free moving. She's not going to move her things out of the apartment and put it on the sidewalk. She's leaving it up to management. Let the sheriff come and put those things on the sidewalk. That's what she said. So let's continue to listen. Jaguar is just a hot mess.
With this urgency of you need to get out of here, what I'm saying? She was coming over and recording music. Now all of a sudden, Legina decided she didn't want to go to Shreveport. She's calling.
So when Jaguar moved to Shreveport, this is what Genesis is saying. Legina didn't want to go with her because Legina was tired of all the shenanigans, and she decided to stay behind and stay with Genesis, move in with Genesis.
Almost feel like I did something to her. So finally, that morning on the 14th, she called me and she's like, I don't like how you played this. And I'm saying, how I played what? And this is Jaguar. Yeah, you inserted yourself into stuff that you didn't have anything business doing, and this, that, together. And then when you went and helped Regina or whatever, when you told everybody that it was you that helped that got Regina to set together, you weren't supposed to tell nobody that. And when you help somebody, you're not supposed to let everybody know. And then she quoted the Bible verse, and then she went on to tell me that you know what you every night. Like almost like a thing. Well, I need to break that whole thing up. You think like almost feel like I did something to her. So finally, that morning on the 14th, she called me and she's like, "You're gonna die and you're gonna have a heart attack. You got to you this, that, the other. Just wishing death and on me, and CPS is gonna come and take your children, and you're gonna lose everything. Just."
Jaguar is just an evil person. And at some point, everybody got to stop saying it's schizophrenia because she knows what she's doing most of the time.
I mean, just basically spewing a bunch of hatred towards me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like thinking to myself, I put my whole house up, put your name as bond. You know what I'm saying? I was a witness on your bond.
After all that Jaguar put her through, she still put up her house for Jaguar. But Genesis should have distanced herself when she heard or got whiff that Jaguar was sleeping with her man. She should have distanced herself. You know what I'm saying? When you came into town and you needed somewhere to drop off your mother, I was that place to drop your mother and Sam off. Those were the times when we saw Jaguar and Legina in the car at 4 o'clock in the morning by the lake. And everybody was saying, what happened to Sam and the mother? And everybody was assuming they were in a hotel. They were not in a hotel. They were at Genesis' house. And Genesis did all those things for Jaguar. Put her mother up and her son. Jaguar had these people from pillar to post, and she had the nerve to open up her mouth and cuss Genesis out. I would have revoked the bond also. I would take my name out off that bond. I was the one who was helping you this whole time. It's bad enough you already sent out a message saying that we ain't friends. I'm like, well, why are you dropping your mother over my house? The whole thing just culminated into a whole thing. Well, you know what? Fuck this. I need to take my name off this bond. Now, all the way up until this point, the bail bonds had told us, listen, you cannot take your name off the bond. And that's how y'all got her arrested. But it wasn't that. The only way it was the other way around. The only way to get your name off the bail to revoke is if she was arrested. Not right. Got her arrested. Okay. You guys heard that, right? The only way she could have taken her name off the bond was if she got Jaguar arrested. Sean Davy Bay understood that at the time. And then he made a complete 360. I don't know if Kingpin got into his ear because both of them came out of bashing Genesis and Legina. He was very empathetic with her at the time because he said if he was in that shoe and he was being bashed and he put his name on a bond for somebody, he would take his name off too. So I'm wondering, where did he change his mind? Why did he change his mind? What happened for him to change his mind? Because he was in agreement with Genesis at the time. So I had put out a video saying that Genesis would not get her arrested deliberately. But then I didn't see this video. But today I saw the video, and so I decided to do a commentary on it to acknowledge the fact that yes, Genesis did call and get Jaguar arrested only because she wanted to take her name off the bond, and the bail bondsman told her she couldn't do that unless Jaguar was arrested. So she had no choice. So that's the reason why I made sure she got arrested, because I'm like, get my name off of here. You're not gonna threaten me and keep calling my house. And then after she got the phone with me, she got the phone with the Zines for another hour, because up until then she didn't have no warrant. So I found out she had a warrant, and I said, okay, well, we need to figure something out, because she's out of town, and I don't want to be responsible for her being. First of all, it's actually disrespectful. You didn't go to court
So on top of you not going to court, on top of you leaving town, you know what I'm saying? It's bad enough you got arrested while you're on bond. So at any time of those times, when she got arrested, that bond would have been called, and Gina would have been responsible for $1,500. And if she's out of town, guess whose house they about to come to looking for her?
So it sounds to me what she's saying is that although she put her house up, Legina was responsible for the $1,500. So both of them had a lot to lose. And you really can't blame her because she's got children and she put up her house. And, you know, look, somebody's cussing you out. You put up your house for them. You showing good faith that you were behind them, but they're cussing you out left, right, and center. You got to take a stand and say, okay, enough is enough. I'm trying to have your back, and you busy cussing me. Nope, it's not gonna happen. You gotta revoke that bond. You gotta take your name off the bond. If she goes out of town and she got a warrant for her arrest, you know what I'm saying? That means that the bond now becomes payable. And that whole time she was on the phone with his name for an hour, I was calling the bail bondsman, finding out she had a warrant. I finally found out she had a warrant. Y'all had a friendship. Y'all was cool with each other. Y'all know. No. She said she was never my friend. I don't see how I could be your friend. How could you ever think that I was your friend? How could you ever think? All dramatic at 3 o'clock in the morning. If you don't take your ass to bed and pack up your clothes and you're about to get evicted tomorrow. How you, if she wouldn't have been doing that live and packing up instead, then she probably wouldn't have been in the situation here, but she would have got her shit out that morning and it wouldn't have been so dramatic. Well, for the average person, thinking logically, that would be your logical response, right? You know you're getting evicted, you go to the apartment, you pack your stuff up, but not Jaguar. Jaguar wanted to drag this thing out. She herself said she is not moving those things. She's glad she didn't hire a U-Haul to move those things or a moving truck. She's gonna wait for management to put her stuff on the sidewalk or the sheriff's office, and that's what happened. And she skipped her court date. I think she purposely waited for the evict so she can try to get some money up or something. I don't know. To me, it doesn't make any sense when you knew that you had to. But that's another story. And what do you mean? Left with you, right? Huh? Regina left you after that. Yeah, well, I think she saw that letter on the door and was like, you know what, it's time for me to go. Because that letter was sitting right on that door as soon as I pulled up to drop them off. Big old yellow letter. Do you think that as a power move? Is you like taking Regina? So, yeah, I guess that's the way Sean Vive read it. And some people read it. It's a power move. It was a power move on Genesis' part to take Legina. But that is not the case because Genesis didn't take Legina. Legina is the one who wanted to go with Genesis because she saw the chaos in Jaguar's life. No, Legina decided that why would it be a power move to have another extra person in the house that's not bringing any money in? That's not a power move. That's a when she started talking about my dead child's father, I killed my child's father. I was like trying to get it off of there that next day, and they wouldn't let us do it. It was like, no, you can't do because it was Monday. She said that shit on Sunday. I called, okay, Legit. I woke up Monday, like, okay, we need to get this shit done. And they were like, you cannot remove your name off the bond unless the person gets arrested. You have to keep it on there. You can't take your address off of there. You can't change nothing. Unless the person gets arrested. They need to have a warrant to be arrested. Again, Legina did not know that you were planning on getting Jaguar arrested with setting. She didn't know that part. She didn't know that yeah. But she did know that yeah. That's all. That's all. Because this is what I'm saying. Nothing, you didn't do anything wrong per se. But okay, here we hear Sean Vive telling her that she didn't do anything wrong. She just needed to communicate with them. Why would she be communicating with them? That would be like if they were all planning this. Genesis, at that point, did not know, she did not owe them anything. She was not in concert with them to get Jaguar arrested because that's how it would seem, as though it was a plot to get this woman arrested. All Genesis wanted to do was take her name off the bond. So if anything happened, her house would not be put up, and of course, Regina would not have to pay that $1,500. That's all she wanted to do. Make sure she still holds on to her house because she got kids. She needs to put roof over their heads. And Sean FUA was in agreement. The only thing he faulted her for was not letting him know.
I'm not trying to wait till she gets get pulled over or arrested any other way. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that we are in control of what happens so that we can say, okay, take us off. We don't owe the courts anything. Because she don't have no disregard into what we put our name on the line for. So you don't talk shit when somebody got your name on you're bonded to someone's house and they doing all this shit for you. Get the fuck out of here. I am not arguing with that. You don't get to call me threatening CPS doing it. Okay, bitch. Then well, guess what? Guess who's going? Instead of you calling CPS, guess what's gonna happen? That's all. Because this is what I'm saying. Nothing. You didn't do anything wrong per se, besides just didn't fully communicate to the people that you were dealing with what you were doing. That's all. But Jaguar going to jail and you putting her in jail, I don't have nothing to say against that. I mean, it worked out for Regina too, because she ain't got to pay $1,500. Jaguar going to jail and you putting her in jail, I don't have nothing to say against that. I mean,
I had to play it twice for those who didn't hear it, for those who wear hearing aids, because now he's getting out and say, oh, it's all her fault, etc., and blaspheming her when he was in agreement a couple of weeks ago. So what changed?
I cannot know. I'm going to take my name off this shit. I'm going to let them know where you at. Yeah, and I don't want people get mad at me, but okay, whatever. But I bet you that maybe she won't do that no more, and make sure make sure you go to court next time.
Exactly. If she had showed up in court, she would have known the bond was revoked, and she wouldn't have gotten arrested. She would have worked out some other deal.
Go to court, dude. And took her ass to court, but that's disrespectful. Like, first of all, don't nobody got to sign and bond you out. She could have just stayed in jail and just did her little time until the end of that time. But then she gets out of jail. After she gets bonded out, it goes back to them. Does some other shit. So she don't have no respect for what nobody does for her.
Genesis is right about that. If she had any respect for any type of gratitude, she wouldn't have been cussing her out, knowing that she put up her house for her.
Then she gets out of jail. After she gets bonded out, it goes back to them. Does some other shit. So she don't have no respect for what nobody does for her. She just said that she didn't tell that little freak Regina to bail her out. Right. Well, you would have still been in there. You should at least be grateful. Because I'm like, exactly. So right. And so what do you think she's gonna do if someone bond her out? No, she didn't appreciate the shit when she got bailed out this time. Well, maybe she appreciated this time. Man, fuck that. She need to learn her lesson of when someone binds you out, you don't fucking just go to the mayor's office and doing stupid shit. What the fuck? Let's leave town and be in the pool. Let me talk some shit to the person that bailed me out. What kind of shit is that? Let me call you and harass you. I wouldn't talk. I would treat you. I would have treated you like a person. I wouldn't talk. I would have treated you like a person. Didn't miss the court date? Are you crazy? You didn't even show up to court. Like the whole thing is like what? And I'm supposed to keep my name on that? No. And then let you just wander freely through and eventually get arrested? No, I ain't got time for that. Deal with your shit. Take care of your shit, man. Take care of your shit. You got a warrant for your arrest now. Take care of your shit. Shit behind bars, okay? Yeah, talk that shit behind bars. That's what you get. You know what I'm saying? That's why you in there. And you cared about your child's father. And knowing that she fucked my child's father and all kind of crazy shit like that?
I had heard that a while back, but now in this video, Genesis is admitting that Jaguar did get down with her baby daddy. And I don't know how she can call her a friend after she did that.
The whole time she was around me, she had the secret that she was fucking my child's father? And then so really she got this animosity towards me. I had no idea. That's why she felt like we was never friends, because she was fucking my child's father.
And yet Genesis put up her house. I mean, what was Genesis thinking?
Oh, I want you to be my program tonight. You know what I'm saying? But whatever, man. Get out of here. Take your ass to jail. She's fucking my child's father. In your face. Right, and around me, acting and being cool and everything like that, right?
You guys notice in this video, Sean FUA is agreeing with her 100%, everything that she has to say. But yet, when he gets with King Pain, it's a different side of the coin. It's a different story. He does a 360. That's why I was wondering what happened. What changed his mind? I mean, he was in agreement that, yeah, she did have to get her arrested in order to take her name off the bond. But that part, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. What happened that he did not fully understand? That she had to get her arrested in order to take her name off. Jaguar was a flight risk. Genesis could not afford to continue supporting this woman who was cussing her out. She did not show up in court. She would have found out the bond was revoked had she showed up, and she would have made a deal with the prosecutors, the judge, and all to work out a different angle for her not to get arrested. Maybe she could have reached out to Sean DeVive as well as King Payne to ask them for their help to set her up with an address and bail her out. Like, what's her name? TJ did. TJ said she bailed her out. And I was, I mean, it is so messed up, this whole thing. It really is. Because they keep saying they support Jaguar. But first of all, they collected money on her behalf, and I don't see this big money that she have that they collected. This GoFundMe, they were supposed to be giving her money, throwing money her way. A lot of people said, oh, we're going to drop money, like Shaka said, on Real Life Productions, that as soon as Jaguar gets out, he was going to drop a bundle her way and do some music with her. Well, I haven't seen that yet.
Like, you got Jaguar in the bag. Right now, as we speak on this current interview, she's incarcerated. When she gets out, do you plan on doing like a first day out with her and like?
Oh, you already know we're gonna T Grizzly this motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
Video, everything. Free Jag until Jag is free.
Yes, there you go, man.
Know what I'm saying? We gonna turn up. We gonna turn up first day out so she get out. I'm gonna be the first nigga to pull up on her. I'm pulling up with a bag. I'm taking her shopping and we getting a bag.
Yes,
I'm dropping on her head and we gonna go crazy. So I don't give a fuck what she do after that.
Yeah, right.
Okay, you guys heard it. That was the interview with Chaco on Real Life Productions, promising when Jaguar gets out, he's going to drop a bag on her. They're going to do music and all of that. I haven't seen any of that so far, and she's out, okay? And all these promises, false promises that everybody else made, I don't see any type of results. Jaguar is still relying on TJ, this stranger who came to bail her out and to help her, because everybody else dropped the ball, like Tokyo Tony and all these people. Because Tokyo Tony did say when she gets out, she was going to drop a bundle Jaguar's way also. Whatever she needs. I haven't seen that either because they fell out. They're no longer friends. Tokyo did try to bond her out though, but couldn't because of two things. First, she lives in a hotel, and secondly, she lives out of state. Even the woman who calls herself Jaguar's good friend. Oh, she knows Jaguar for a long time. She's her bestie. She did an interview with King World. I haven't seen her showed up to bail Jaguar out. All these people talk a whole lot of ish, but when it comes to doing the work and putting in the work and getting Jaguar some real help, they're dropping the ball. The only person who came to help her was TJ. She didn't say, well, I need money back. She didn't say, well, let's do a GoFundMe so I can get enough money for her. She put out her own money because she saw the crap that was going on with these two guys. Anyway, guys, drop your comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like button before leaving the page. Thank you for watching.